Before this video even begins, I want you to pause for a moment and be honest with yourself. Have you felt something inside you changing and you don't know why? Not sadness, not happiness, not depression, not excitement, something deeper, something quieter, something you can't describe to anyone, not even to yourself. You've been waking up with a strange heaviness in your chest. Your thoughts feel different. Your reactions feel different. Your heart feels like it's whispering something, but you can't understand the message yet. If that's you, don't scroll. Don't click away. Don't tell yourself, "I'll watch this later." No, stay exactly where you are. Because this video, these words, are not random. You didn't find this. This found you. Your soul was guided here. Because something in your life is shifting, and Allah wants you to understand why. Tell me if this feels familiar. You look at your past, and it feels like it belonged to someone else. The people you used to love don't feel close anymore. The habits you used to enjoy don't satisfy you. The environments you once tolerated now drain your soul within minutes. There is a quiet distance growing between you and the version of you that came from pain. And maybe you've been ignoring it. Maybe you've been pretending everything is fine. Maybe you've been trying to hold on to the old life because it's all you've ever known. But deep down, deep inside, you can feel it. You're not that person anymore. Something is dying inside you, and something else is being born. And that transformation is not your choice. It's Allah working within you in ways your mind doesn't understand yet. Stay here with me. Don't move. Don't blink. Because over the next hour, I will take you on a journey through the exact changes happening inside you. Why you feel distant. Why you feel heavier. Why your heart is restless. Why your soul feels like it's shedding an old skin. And by the end of this video, you will see your entire life differently. You will understand the version of you Allah is removing and the version of you He is preparing. You're not lost. You're not confused. You're not breaking. You're transforming. And you are about to understand the reason behind every shift your heart has been feeling in silence. So stay right here, because this is the moment. Your story begins again. My dear soul, listen closely. What you're feeling inside you right now, the distance, the shift, the quiet changes, this is not confusion. This is not losing yourself. This is Allah guiding you out of a version of you that was never meant to stay. There was a time you lived from wounds, not wisdom. A time you survived by building walls instead of boundaries. A time your smile hid more pain than your words ever could. You didn't become that person by choice. Life carved you into that shape, just so you could make it through the nights you thought would break you. But Allah never intended for you to live your whole life as the version of yourself that pain created. And so, your outgrowing began. Allah removed the old you because it was built in trauma, not in tawakkul. There was a version of you that grew out of pure survival. You didn't become that person because you wanted to. You became that person because life cornered you, hurt you, and left you with no space to breathe. You said yes when your heart was screaming no, not because you were weak, but because you were scared of losing people. You carried responsibilities that weren't yours, just because you were tired of seeing things fall apart. You stayed quiet when you were hurting because you thought speaking up would make everything worse. You accepted pain like it was normal. You accepted stress like it was part of your personality. You accepted disrespect like it was a test you deserved. But none of that was you. It was the version of you that was shaped by wounds, not wisdom. Fear built your reactions. Loss built your habits. Loneliness built your behavior. And even though everyone around you thought you were strong, Allah knew the truth. He knew the smile you forced. He knew the tears you hid in sujood. He knew the nights you slept with a heavy chest, because your heart didn't know how to rest anymore. That version of you, the one built in trauma, was never meant to be permanent. It was only meant to help you survive a chapter, not define your entire life. So Allah started removing it. Not all at once, but slowly, gently, quietly. He pulled you away from people who fed your wounds. He took you out of environments that kept your heart anxious. He closed doors you kept trying to open, because they were doors that only led you back to pain. He didn't let you stay the person who always sacrificed themselves. He didn't let you remain the person who always hid their needs. He didn't let you keep pretending you were okay. Bit by bit, He pulled that identity off of your soul, like removing a heavy coat you didn't realize was suffocating you. You didn't outgrow that version because you woke up stronger one day. You outgrew it because Allah decided that the life He wrote for you cannot begin with a heart shaped by wounds. He was done letting pain define you. He was done watching you shrink yourself for people. He was done watching you survive when He created you to live. He removed the old you because He knew it was built in fear, not in trust. Built in trauma, not in tawakkul. Built in pain, not in purpose. And now, the real you is finally allowed to breathe. Allah softened your heart because healing needed space to enter. There was a point in your life when your heart became hard without you even noticing. Not because you were a bad person, but because you were tired of being hurt by people who never cared enough to understand you. You taught yourself not to feel too much. You taught yourself not to expect anything from anyone. You taught yourself to keep your emotions locked away, because every time you opened your heart, someone walked in just to break something. So you built walls. Not boundaries. Walls. Walls so high and so thick that even you forgot what your true heart felt like inside. You laughed without feeling joy. You agreed without feeling connection. You lived without feeling alive. But Allah knew that your hardness wasn't natural. It was a shield you created to protect yourself. Your soul was never meant to be cold. Your heart was never designed to stay numb. Your spirit was never built for emotional distance. And because He is the one who created your heart, He also knew exactly how to heal it. He started softening you in ways you didn't even understand. You noticed yourself caring again, not because someone deserved it, but because Allah was cleaning the dust off your heart. You noticed moments where tears came easily, not out of weakness, but because Allah was allowing you to feel again. You noticed your heart becoming sensitive to small kindness, to gentle words, to quiet prayers. You didn't choose this softness. Allah returned it to you. You began to feel pain more clearly, but you also began to feel peace more deeply. Your emotions became real again. Your du'as became honest again. Your connection to Allah became warmer, closer, more sincere than before. This change inside you didn't happen overnight. It happened from every silent moment Allah watched you struggle alone. It happened from every time you cried quietly after pretending to be strong all day. It happened from every time you broke open in sujood, hoping nobody would see the cracks you were hiding. Allah took those cracks and used them as openings for light. He softened your heart so healing could finally enter. He softened your heart so faith could finally deepen. He softened your heart so you could finally recognize yourself again. This softness isn't a sign you're becoming weak. It's a sign your soul is finally breathing. After years of holding itself tight, Allah is not turning you into a sensitive person. He is turning you into a truthful person. A person connected to their emotions, connected to their fitrah, connected to their Lord. And the truth is, your heart was never meant to be hard. That hardness was temporary protection. This softness is permanent healing. You didn't become soft because life became easy. You became soft because Allah is healing the parts of you that life wounded. Your soul started rejecting what belonged to the old version of you. There comes a time in your journey when your soul quietly begins to reject what once felt normal to you, and you don't know how to explain it to anyone, because nothing big happened, nothing went wrong, no disaster took place. It's just that something inside you feels different now, strangely, peacefully different. The conversations you used to enjoy now feel draining. The jokes you used to laugh at now feel empty. The places you once escaped to now feel too loud for your heart. Even the people you once felt safe with suddenly feel like they don't understand you anymore. You start sensing a disconnect within yourself. You start feeling like you're outgrowing a room you've lived in for years. Not physically, spiritually, emotionally, internally. It's not because you became arrogant. It's not because you think you're better than anyone. It's because Allah is quietly lifting you out of the life that was keeping you small. There are habits you used to run to whenever your heart hurt. Maybe scrolling for hours, maybe staying up late, maybe distracting yourself with people, maybe pretending everything was okay. But suddenly, those habits don't comfort you anymore. They feel shallow. They feel temporary. They feel like they belong to a version of you that you are no longer trying to protect. Your soul is becoming allergic to anything that steals your peace, anything that disconnects you from Allah, anything that keeps you emotionally numb, anything that keeps you tied to memories you're trying to heal from. This change is confusing at first. You feel lost. You feel stuck between the old you and the new you. You feel like you don't fit anywhere. But that discomfort is a sign, a divine signal that Allah is preparing you for a new identity. He is removing your interest from the things that fed your wounded self, so He can guide you toward things that will feed your healed self. You're not losing yourself. You're returning to yourself. The version Allah wrote. The version your soul remembers. The version your heart deserves to become. When your soul rejects what once felt normal, it means the new chapter is closer than you think. You didn't lose people. Allah cleared the path for your rise. People you loved suddenly feel distant. People you trusted slowly fade away. Connections that once felt strong now feel forced and heavy. And you sit there wondering, why is everyone leaving? Why does it feel like I'm standing alone again? What you don't see is what Allah sees. You see loss. Allah sees protection. There were people in your life who were holding you back without even trying. People who were connected to versions of you that no longer exist. People whose presence kept you tied to pain you were trying to escape. People who would have slowed your healing, or questioned your growth, or pulled you back to who you used to be. Allah didn't wait for you to notice. He didn't wait for you to suffer again. He didn't wait for your heart to break one more time. He took them away before they damaged what He was building inside you. Sometimes Allah removes the people before you understand the reason, because He sees the conversations you never heard. He sees the intentions you never recognized. He sees the future you cannot imagine yet. So when certain people faded from your life, it wasn't a punishment. It was mercy. Allah was clearing your path. He was removing the weight from your shoulders. He was guiding you toward the destiny that requires a stronger, quieter, more peaceful version of you. Some people were tied to your wounds, so Allah took them away to help you heal. Some people were tied to your past, so Allah separated you so you could grow. Some people were tied to a temporary chapter, and Allah ended it so you could start your permanent one. Not one person left your life without Allah knowing exactly why. Not one friendship ended without a spiritual purpose behind it. Not one relationship broke without a divine plan written inside the pain. Their exit didn't happen to destroy you. It happened to elevate you. Allah removed them with silence, so He could guide you with clarity. Their absence isn't an empty space. It's a doorway. A doorway to the future version of you that needed freedom, not attachment. Healing, not draining. Peace, not noise. You're not standing alone. You're standing where Allah needed you to stand, so He can rewrite your story without interference. Your silence isn't isolation, it's your soul learning peace. You've probably noticed it. You don't talk the way you used to. You don't react the way you used to. You don't chase arguments. You don't explain yourself to everyone. You don't try to convince people who don't want to understand you. Your voice has become quieter, but your soul has become louder. There is a new type of silence inside you, a silence that feels heavier, calmer, and wiser than before. This isn't the silence of sadness. It's the silence of healing. Before, you talked because you wanted to be heard. Now, you talk only when your heart has something meaningful to say. Before, you argued because you wanted to be right. Now, you stay silent because you want to protect your peace. There were days when you over-explained everything, your feelings, your choices, your pain, hoping someone would finally understand. But over time, Allah showed you something important. Not everyone deserves access to your heart. So you started keeping certain things inside, not because you're hiding, but because your soul finally learned that peace is louder than noise. You sit with your thoughts more. You observe more. You choose your responses with care. You walk away from negativity without giving it a second thought. Your silence is your strength now. It's a sign that your heart isn't fighting for attention anymore. It's not begging anyone to see your worth. It's not trying to force connections that Allah is removing. This silence is the space Allah uses to speak to you. It's the emptiness He fills with insight. It's the calm He uses to prepare you for what's coming. You're not becoming disconnected. You're becoming selective. You're not losing your voice. You're learning when to use it. You're not isolating yourself. You're protecting yourself. And the most beautiful part? Your silence is teaching you patience. It's teaching you emotional discipline. It's teaching you how to walk away from anything that disturbs the peace Allah is placing inside you. This new, quiet version of you isn't weak. It's focused. It's present. It's spiritually growing. Your silence is your testimony that Allah is rebuilding your heart from the inside out. Pain made you self-aware, but healing made you Allah-aware. There was a time in your life when pain was the only thing that gave you clarity. You learned to understand yourself not through peace, but through heartbreak. Every disappointment taught you something. Every betrayal opened your eyes. Every hardship forced you to look deeper into who you had become. Pain made you self-aware. It made you notice your patterns. It made you see your weaknesses. It made you recognize the wounds you were hiding behind strength and smiles. But healing is different. Healing doesn't make you more aware of yourself. Healing makes you more aware of Allah. When you began to heal, your mind shifted from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "Allah, what are you trying to teach me?" Your heart began to understand that every closed door was a lesson, every delay was protection, every loss was redirection, every tear was purification. Healing didn't make you forget your pain. It made you understand its purpose. You started seeing Allah in everything, in the way your heart calmed after sujood, in the way your mind softened after making dua, in the way solutions appeared out of nowhere when you had no strength left. Healing showed you that strength doesn't come from pretending. It comes from surrendering. You stopped trying to control everything. You stopped trying to fix everyone. You stopped trying to carry the whole world on your shoulders. You realized that relying on yourself was what exhausted you, but relying on Allah is what saved you. Your heart became lighter, not because life became easier, but because you finally let Allah carry the things you weren't meant to hold. Healing turned your loneliness into closeness with Allah. It turned your confusion into prayer. It turned your fear into trust. It turned your silence into reflection. You're no longer the person who tries to survive everything alone. You're the person who knows exactly where to place their forehead. When the world becomes heavy, pain woke you up. Healing brought you back to Allah. And now, your path is clearer, your heart is softer, your faith is deeper, and your trust in Allah is stronger than it has ever been. This is not just healing. This is transformation. This is your soul returning to the one who created it. The version of you rising now was written by Allah, not by your past. There is a moment in every believer's life when they stop recognizing the person they used to be, not because they changed too quickly, but because life slowly peeled away layers that were never truly theirs. For years, you lived inside a version of yourself that was shaped by circumstances, by heartbreak, by fear, by survival, by loneliness. You didn't choose that version. You adapted into it. You molded yourself into it because you thought that was the only way to survive. But deep inside, there was always a quieter identity, a version of you that Allah wrote, long before the world ever hurt you. This deeper version waited patiently beneath all the layers, the wounds, the disappointments, the mistakes, the guilt, the heartbreaks. Slowly, Allah began uncovering it, not by force, but through experiences that cracked your heart open in ways you didn't expect. Those moments that confused you, were actually moments that reshaped you. Those nights when you cried were nights when Allah softened you. Those losses that felt unfair were losses that freed you. Those delays that frustrated you were delays designed to protect you. Every chapter you lived was silently sculpting a version of you that destiny required. And now, when you look at yourself, you see pieces of someone new, someone calmer, someone deeper, someone more connected to Allah. This new identity isn't built on fear. It's built on faith. It's not built on rushing. It's built on divine timing. It's not built on ego. It's built on humility. It's not built on what people think. It's built on what Allah knows. You are not becoming someone different. You are becoming someone true. Allah is revealing the version of you that was written in the book of destiny, not the version formed by your struggles, but the version strengthened by them. Every heartbreak saved you. Every failure prepared you. Every tear purified you. Every prayer shaped you. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was meaningless. You are rising into a version of yourself that life could never create. Only Allah could. This is why you feel unfamiliar to your own past. This is why old habits feel foreign. This is why old environments feel tight. This is why old relationships feel outgrown. Because the person you were becoming is not the person your past was built for. You are stepping into the identity Allah always intended for you. A version of you that knows peace. A version of you that knows clarity. A version of you that knows Allah, not just as a Lord, but as a protector, a guide, a healer, and the writer of your story. This is not reinvention. This is return. You are returning to the real you, the one Allah designed long before the world taught you pain. Feeling different is the sign a major divine shift is near. Sometimes the biggest sign that Allah is changing your life is that everything around you suddenly feels unfamiliar. The same rooms feel different. The same routine feels strange. The same life you lived for years no longer fits the person you are becoming. And you wonder, what is happening to me? Why do I feel so different inside? But what you don't see, what your heart feels before your mind understands, is that Allah is preparing a major shift in your destiny. Before Allah gives you a new life, He changes your heart to match it. Before He opens a new chapter, He closes the old one from within. Before He sends a blessing, He removes everything that would block it. That's why everything in your life feels like it's rearranging itself. That's why you feel a strange distance from your past. That's why the things you once tolerated now feel unbearable. That's why your soul is restless. Even though nothing is wrong, your heart is being aligned with something you haven't seen yet. This is the quiet stage of transformation, the stage where Allah pulls you away from everything that cannot walk with you into your future. You may feel lonely, but you're not alone. You're being set apart. You may feel lost, but you're not lost. You're being redirected. You may feel empty, but you're not empty. Allah is clearing space. He is removing noise, so your heart can hear guidance. He is removing distractions, so your soul can focus on what matters. He is removing certain people, so you don't carry old pain into the blessing He wrote for you. He is removing old habits, so you don't sabotage your future with the patterns of your past. This in-between feeling, this confusion, this emotional shift, it's not a sign of breakdown. It's a sign of breakthrough. Everything you feel right now is proof that Allah is rewriting your story quietly. You're not going backwards. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You are transitioning. Your heart is being prepared for something bigger, something softer, something purer, something more aligned with who you're meant to become. The new version of you is almost ready. Allah is finishing the final touches, the healing, the clarity, the confidence, the faith, the strength. And when it's time, when Allah decides the moment is right, everything in your life will shift in a way that will make you say, Ya Allah, now I understand why you changed me first. You don't realize it yet, but the version of you that Allah is shaping right now is going to walk into blessings the old you would have destroyed. The patience you're learning, you didn't have it before. The calmness growing inside you, you never knew how to hold it before. The wisdom that keeps entering your heart, you didn't develop it from books or people. It came from divine molding, from experiences that carved you in ways no human hand could. This is why Allah separated you. This is why He made things quiet. This is why He slowed down everything around you, because you were moving too fast to notice who you were becoming. You were rushing through life without understanding why certain doors stayed closed and certain people stayed distant. Allah was not delaying your life. He was upgrading your soul. He was teaching you how to see with the heart, how to trust without evidence, how to surrender without fear, how to walk forward even when the path felt invisible. And now, your soul is learning the language of divine timing. You're beginning to sense which connections are temporary and which ones are written for your future. You're beginning to understand why certain blessings were delayed until you were strong enough to handle them. You're beginning to see how Allah never said no to you. He was simply preparing a yes that matched the strength of your new heart. You're not the same person who prayed years ago. Your du'as have more depth now. Your sujood has more sincerity. Your tears have more meaning. Your silence carries more weight. And Allah responds differently when you rise with a heart that has shattered and rebuilt itself through Him. This in-between phase you're in, this strange, quiet season, is one of the highest forms of mercy, because Allah is giving you time to understand yourself before He gives you the blessing that will change everything. He is protecting your future from the version of you that didn't know how to protect itself. He is removing the noise so you don't miss the signs. He is removing the wrong people so the right ones can enter. He is removing confusion so clarity can settle. He is removing the old identity so the new one can rise without resistance. And when your heart is finally aligned, when your soul is steady, when your faith stands firm, that's when everything will unfold. Doors will open that were impossible before. People will enter your life with sincerity you thought didn't exist. Opportunities will come that make you feel, if this arrived any earlier, I would have ruined it. That moment, the moment everything begins to make sense, is coming, and it will come quietly, just like the way He changed you quietly. Because the biggest blessings from Allah rarely arrive with noise. They arrive with peace. the same peace He has been preparing inside you all along. The new version of you isn't on the way. It is already here, slowly unfolding, layer by layer, clarity by clarity, test by test, prayer by prayer. And one day soon, you will look back at this season and realize that the feeling of something is shifting was not confusion. It was the sound of destiny unlocking inside your heart. My dear soul, if you made it to the end of this journey, you didn't just listen, you felt something. You felt the weight that's been sitting in your chest start to loosen. You felt the confusion inside your heart begin to make sense. You felt the quiet truth your soul has been whispering finally become clear. You outgrew a version of yourself that was built in pain. And now you're slowly becoming the version Allah always intended for you. Everything you survived was shaping you. Every heartbreak you carried was purifying you. Every loss you cried over was preparing you. Every delay that frustrated you was protecting you. And now here you are, standing at the edge of a new beginning, with a heart that is softer, wiser, and more awake than ever before. Don't rush what Allah is unfolding in your life. Don't question why He removed certain people. Don't doubt the changes happening inside you. Don't fear the silence, or the distance, or the shifts. What feels like endings are actually beginnings. What feels like loss is actually release. What feels like emptiness is actually space for your new destiny. You are not going backwards. You are not stuck. You are not being punished. You are being rebuilt in a way the old you was never ready for. Take a breath. Look at how far you've come. Look at how Allah held you through nights you thought you'd never survive. Look at how He kept pulling you back, even when you walked away from yourself. Look at how He changed you, without noise, without force, without warning, but always with mercy. Your journey is not over. Your healing is not finished. Your story is not done. The version of you rising now is stronger than your past, softer than your wounds, and closer to Allah than you have ever been. And one day, when you look back at this moment, you will whisper to yourself, Subhanallah, I didn't know it then, but this was the beginning of the greatest chapter of my life. Until that day comes, walk gently, stay patient, trust the timing, trust the changes, trust the silence, and above all, trust Allah, because He has never left you. You're not ending a chapter. You are stepping into a destiny that was written before you were even born, and the real you, the healed you, is finally on the way.